Game 7 of a Denver Nuggets OKC game on a Sunday afternoon. We're going to recap it all for you. We are officially into the era now of the conference finals where there will never be two games of hoops in a night, only playoff and finals games, but we're going to get into all of it. My name is Shlomo Stark.
My name is David Jacob.
And this is the daily basketball recap in 15 minutes or less. Levy, congratulations are in order. Your team has joined my team in the conference finals. This was a dominant win. Is the game even over? We're recording. This podcast is coming out tomorrow. When you listen to this, it'll be Monday morning, but we're recording this as the game is ending. Is the game officially over? Or it's still going?
It's done. 32 points.
Wow. 32-point victory. Just a dominant performance. OKC was not going to let Denver beat them in the second round, which would have been a historic upset. It is officially OKC's playoffs to lose. They should be the heavy favorite right now. Boston and Cleveland were the only two before the playoffs that people were talking about beating them. And the Pacers beat Cleveland and the Knicks beat Boston. So definitely by gambling odds and anything like that, the Thunder are heavy favorites. They'll be going up against Anthony Edwards. This was a great Jalen Williams game. He came through. This is just something interesting. This might be really random, and our listeners might make fun of me about this. But what do you think is a better stat? Just like what sounds better? 10 of 17 shooting or 9 of 16 shooting?
I think 10 of 17.
So you are correct. But for some reason, I was like, 9 of 16 is great. I don't know why. Sounds amazing to me. But 9 of 16 is 56% and 10 of 17 is 58%. So that was like a weird thing that was going on at one point for me. Anyway, I don't know.
In my brain, I feel like it's just because like 10 is a larger number. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know. But meaning it was just me, you're definitely right. Because like that's what it was. Like that is. But SGA finished 12 of 19. Jalen Williams finished 10 of 17, 35 and 24 points respectively. Nobody else really did anything. It was just the best and second best players saying, "Let me at him."
I don't agree. This actually was neither of their games. Well, this was all the offense was generated because Alex Caruso played the best defense on Nikola Jokic that I've ever seen in my life. It was the crazy, like, it was like watching Tony Allen against Kevin Durant, but like in a more astounding way. I don't know how to, like, my mind still can't understand. Again, it's gonna happen with the Thunder and the Nuggets. Like, there's always gonna be people who are like complaining about the officiating and everything. I get it, but he played incredible defense. Chet played incredible help defense. The offense, they got down about, I want to say 11 or 13 in the first quarter, and they just stayed the course the whole game. They kept cool, calm, and collected. The three-pointers came, the shots in the paint came. Everything was just, they had to endure, and this is like the championship team that we were seeing all season that we were like, oh, they're really good. This was the first time that I've in this series that I felt like, okay, like I'm like watching it happen.
First time since Memphis.
Yeah, the series.
Yeah. It's hard to disagree with that. Caruso, it was more Jokic, like he wasn't able to get shots up. Like he had 20 points, but he was 5 of 9 shooting.
But they were everywhere. The Thunder were everywhere. It was so interesting. There was like so many different like steals that I was like, as a Thunder fan, I was watching and I was like, that was definitely a foul. Come on. And they like replayed it. They were so accurate with their steal attempts. It was like Kayson Wallace had so many steals that like he just got exactly the ball. It was awesome. They did a really excellent job of team defense. Like all the way down the stretch. Jalen Williams was having a rough start to the game. He finished well. It was exactly what was needed, and they played awesome. And like Hartenstein, he got into foul trouble. He didn't even play so much in this game. like so much of the defense was Caruso as the primary defender on Jokic. It was awesome. It was like it's exactly what you want to see. If you think this team can like make it the distance, this is exactly what you want to see. It was awesome. It was good basketball.
Very, very happy for them. I was rooting for Denver because I really like Jokic, as this podcast knows, but also I think that the Nuggets would be an easier team for the Knicks, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Um, okay, so do you want to? Well, there's a few things we could do. We could do predictions for the conference finals. It might be too early for that because we have a couple days without basketball games. So we could do that later. I never spoke about the Knicks on this podcast, so we could do that. Or we could just end it.
Yeah, no, I think that you should talk about the Knicks. I think that that's definitely you need your time to shine and your thoughts out.
Yes, I'm gonna let it all out. Okay, first where I was. This was a Friday night. I don't watch games on Friday night. For those who listeners of the podcast know, I keep the Sabbath, Shabbat, Shabbos, and I don't watch games on Friday night. So I was sitting in a house in the Five Towns on this Friday night, wondering what the score was. And my cousin, Porad Altman, who was on this podcast, he has this like ticker thing on it in his room that just goes through the scores, and that way we know. So they would show like the Mets scores, the Knicks scores, and you have to like kind of wait. And my cousin went to go check on the scores, and he goes, "I'm sorry, like the ticker's broken. It says the Knicks are up 92-51 in the third quarter." I was like, "Oh, that's like weird. Like they can't be. Like I guess it's just not. It's just broken." I'm like, "Yeah, like I guess we'll find out tomorrow what the score was." I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And then they went back up later, like 20 minutes later, like, "Yeah, it says the Knicks won by like 30." I'm like, "Nah, like I guess like whatever, like the ticker's like broken. Like it didn't make sense. Like I really didn't believe it." And then the next morning, like I let out a shriek when I saw the New York Post delivered, and I was the OKC just made the Western Conference Finals. It is not the same thing at all. This is a this was Friday night was such a moment for this loyal fan base who stuck through this team during the Marbury years, the Mello years, the dark era of the between Mello and Randall eras, which was like rookie 36-year-old rookie Pablo Prigioni era. Like there were some dark times, and throughout it all, we've gotten the farthest we've ever gotten since 2000. And it was a team win. We stepped on their throats. We kind of did what the Thunder did tonight, honestly, and what the Pacers did to the Cavs in game 5, which was you are just not getting this victory. We are going to destroy you. And there's no reason that a Knick team that did what they did last night, or Friday night, I should say, um, can't win the NBA Finals. Playing like that, their floor is those 5 guys. That's their floor. They might have the best starting 5 in the NBA right now. If you go talent for talent, just top 5, they might have the best. You can make that case. I'm not going to try arguing it with you now, but you can make the case that their 1 through 5 is better than any 1 through 5 in the NBA. They could have gotten a backup center. They stuck with Mitch. Yeah, he was a plus 47 in this series. They overpaid for Mikal Bridges. Too many draft picks. He won games 4 and was very clutch in game 6 for them. They overpaid for OG Anunoby and Brunson. Turns out they underpaid. Actually, Anunoby, I guess maybe we still overpaid a little bit, but still. Point is, they gambled on these guys, and Josh Hart has just been phenomenal. And they made the Eastern Conference Finals, and I could not be happier. And Tatum got hurt in game 4, and we were going to win game four regardless. So I don't want excuses about like I feel like in 10 years they're going to be like the Knicks won because Tatum got hurt. That's not what happened. The Knicks outplayed the Celtics this series, and I am thrilled and honored and proud to be part of this loyal fan base. And I can't wait for the Pacers.
Yeah, I actually spoke to Max about this morning. The whole bit of like players post series being injured, right? Like just
Oh, the
witnessing.
Jaylen Brown thing. Yeah, that
Yeah.
happens every series.
But I was saying, but just witnessing Aaron Gordon actually out there limping, like that's
Well, that
just
was a
like
crazy one because that was a pre like they announced this morning he'll be out for a few weeks because of his hamstring.
right,
And then they're like, wait, actually he's gonna play through it. That's not usually how it happens. It usually happens the Jaylen Brown way, which is like Knicks win. By the way, Jaylen Brown was playing with a torn meniscus. Oh, Knicks lose, but Amari Stoudemire broke his hand in a fire because he punched a fire hydrant. Like that's like the way these things happen. Is you find LeBron has actually been like need surgery after this. Like
right,
that's usually how it happens. The Aaron Gordon thing was honestly nothing short of a miracle.
right. So the last time that it's funny because last time that I actually remember something to this extent happening was like Serge Ibaka like had like a it wasn't a calf strain. It was something like really it was like worse than that. I don't remember exactly what it was. And he wasn't going to play like they had like a game 7 or a game 6 against the Spurs for the Thunder in like 2013 or 14. I'm not like,
It's
and
like either right before or right after they traded Harden, like right around then.
I think it might have been the season after. I think it was the season directly after. And it was like, oh, that sucks. Like Kendrick Perkins is going to be our defensive line now, and they were like, actually, he's playing. And it was like, what do you mean he's playing? Like, what? It's crazy. And that was exactly why
So,
Aaron Gordon out there, like,
yeah,
was injured.
but there's a lot of these players do this. I learned this from watching the movie Miracle, which is there's some injuries like let's say Achilles or others like that, where if you keep playing, you'll re-aggravate, you'll make the injury worse.
Right.
Whereas some injuries like a hamstring injury or a calf injury, depending on the injury, it is just extremely painful to play through it, but you won't actually make it worse.
Right.
So props to Aaron Gordon for leaving it all out there. You could see the pain. Um, and yeah, just well done.
Yeah.
But the Thunder were too good.
Oh well. Oh well.
Oh well, happy for you.
I think also in regards to the Knicks, it was like a very I feel like this is the game that they were like they had like the Brunson peaks and whatever. Like this was the game where it's like, okay, everyone like at least played like well, you know?
All five guys and the bench were phenomenal.
Also, by the way, it made me realize something. I think that they shouldn't play Miles McBride and campaign unless they're playing MSG. That's my decision.
There's something to that. Juice randomly shows up. In Boston, he had some nice plays, but yeah, campaign. I think I agree. I've never seen campaign do anything outside the Garden.
It's just
The
it's
thing is
funny to
that the
watch.
Knicks bench is, but once you get past Mitchell Robinson, it's a very weak bench.
And that's the sixth man. Like
No, I'm telling you, like we have like it's like I said, like the case for the Knicks is their five is arguably as good as any five in the league. The case against them is if their five don't play well, like it's really like the Thunder could have a case on Wallace game, an Isaiah Joe game, an Alex Caruso game, like you mentioned, and those are in like argue like that. They're just so deep. And SGA is their best player, which we didn't even talk about that. Like SGA is better than any Nick, but like they're also deep. So it's like if SGA has a bad game, if Brunson has a bad game, the Knicks are losing. If SGA has a bad game, the Thunder can win a game. That's like that would be the Knicks' disadvantage.
I'm willing to give you the argument as far as they can stand with anybody, as long as we can also agree that the offensive play calling is not optimized for the level of talent offensively that they have.
Yeah, but you're going deep on me now. Like you're saying they could be coached better. Like that's not
They
that's
like
not what
don't.
I'm saying.
I know,
Yeah, I agree. Like they don't run the Brunson cat pick and roll.
but like it's a center and a point guard. Like it's hilarious.
Yeah, Cat. Do you know how many threes Cat made this series?
I think it was two, right?
It was two until
Oh,
game.
until game 6.
It was two until game six, and then in game six, he made. I'll get it for you exactly. In game six, he made one for six.
So it's
So
three.
he made three pointers the entire series, and that's like his thing.
Right.
Although I'm really fine. My favorite times is when he's just posting people up, because when he's in that Carmelo Anthony spot
Mhm.
on like the baseline, he's lethal.
Which is also crazy because the shot doesn't look like it looks like it's like almost accidental. You know what I'm saying? Like the Shlomo Anthony, there's like an art to it, but with Cat, it just looks like it's
Like the Isaiah Hartenstein floater, it goes in every time, even though it's the ugliest shot in the world.
yeah, yeah, 100%. One more thing though, where do you think the Nuggets go from here?
I don't know why I wasn't prepared for that question, even though it was a really like normal
Yeah.
question to ask. Um, it's got to be trading Michael Porter Jr., right?
What's his value?
What other moves do they have?
Murray.
I don't think so.
They can't
Because I
trade
think
Gordon.
I don't think they're going to trade Murray, because when Jokic and Murray are on, they are they are like it's the best pick and roll in the game. So I don't think you want to trade that. If I were them, I would try to get deeper on the bench. I would trade Michael Porter Jr. for deeper bench players.
But I'm saying I don't know who's taking on. One second. I want to find this stat. I want to find the exact stats because I want to go to the list here. Okay.
I think Michael Porter Jr. had a bad season because of like personal reasons. Like he had his brother, and like I don't think he's like not good at basketball anymore. I think he just like had a tough year.
But he's always been injury prone. Like meaning like yes,
Yeah, but
you're
he's
right.
not hurt right now.
Yes, he is.
No, he played.
This doesn't matter. His shoulder, he can't lift his shoulder above his waist.
Okay, but he plays. I'm saying whatever you want to like.
But he's
Injuries. Like the guy plays. I think the reason. So I'm saying, I guess we're arguing it differently. I think the reason he did not play well this series is not because of injury. I think it's because he's just like not doing well on him mentally, and I think like he'll recover from that.
but I'm saying this is kind of in the story of his like career. Is not obviously not the brother and the mental stuff, but I'm saying
Yeah, but I think you're gonna find one of the 30 teams that'll take a bet on him.
I don't know. He shot 3 for 8, and Jamal Murray
Yeah, I don't think
three
he's
for
playing
four.
well. I'm sure in the series he was a minus a million.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I think we're arguing about why he was bad, not if he's bad.
Um, no, no. This this whole team is totally battered and bruised. To be honest with you, everyone's injured and hiding things because they're all trying to push as hard as they could. Um, yeah, it was a good series. It was a good series. It was like a good win. It was like a good win, but it was a good series. A very good series. Formidable opponents.
Yeah, there you could also like fool yourself. Like I don't think Denver is like close, but if OKC wins the championship, which is I would say they're favored to do that, if you're Denver, you're like, we were one win away from beating the champions.
Yeah.
Which like I would not think that way, because I would have Denver against. I mean, I would have Minnesota against the Denver in that series. Like that's who I would vote for. I would gamble on, but I would bet on was a better way to say that. But um, so
Oh, that's why
I would recommend they do something. Do you think they should trade Murray?
I see. I definitely listen. Do I like the Jamal Murray and like I'm not advocating for it. Practically though, I am thinking to myself that I do see a scenario in which Jamal Murray has a Paul George style decline, and then it just becomes like, okay, like what do we do with this guy? You know, it could go from
So you would trade her.
I
You
feel
would
like
trade.
yeah, I feel like yeah, like we know that this team doesn't have what it takes to get to the finals.
Yeah.
So
You're so funny because you're just you think you should trade him, but you're like you're saying it with not so much confidence.
I think that it depends on what you're getting back. Like don't do
That's
a
every
Chris
trade.
Middleton, but don't do a Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna get back to something that's more certain in a sense or more
Right, you're saying you would have advised the Bucks to trade Chris Middleton, but not if they were getting Kyle Kuzma back.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think I would have too. All right, that was the daily basketball recap in 15 minutes or less. I want to thank you, Levi, for co-hosting, for producing, and for being a Thunder fan, and for starting a little bit before the game ended. And I want to thank you for listening.